Blog Talk Radio. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard. Hi everyone, this is Chatting with Nat. This is Natalie Jean. This is Natalie Jean. And today we have singer-songwriter Anika Nielsen. Anika was born and raised in Laguna Beach, California, and started singing lessons at the age of 5. Her senior year of high school is when she knew that she wanted to pursue music, and you can now stream her debut single, Are You Down, on all platforms. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
Well, we like to make people feel warm and fuzzy. So glad to have you. Now, how have you been doing during all this craziness that has been going on for the past 2 to 3 years?
Yeah, it's seriously been so crazy. I was actually a senior in high school when COVID first started. So it was a little disappointing, no prom and no graduation and no real freshman year of college, but now it's kind of getting back to normal a little bit, so it's getting a little bit better.
Yeah. Now they're talking about a cousin. They call it a cousin of the Omicron. This is how I guess COVID is making a family between Delta, Omicron, and now the Omicron cousin, which is B2B1. I don't know, whatever that's out there. So one of the questions I like to ask is this. During the pandemic, obviously, a lot of us had downtime to think about life and everything that was going on in the world. Some of the craziest things that I saw were people walking outside with their families. People think that's not crazy, but around where I live, you don't see that much. There are a lot of people that cut back on work because they realized they weren't spending enough time with their families. So the pandemic has demonstrated, obviously, that it's been horrible with the deaths, people losing family members, friends, people losing limbs. They're still in the hospital on ventilators. There have been some pros during this time. I read a couple articles that suggested that people were quitting their jobs because they really wanted to do something that was more meaningful. It wasn't just about money. They wanted to follow their passions. With climate change, my God, without us being on the streets for about a year, the pollution level significantly went down. The animals and Mother Nature were extremely happy with us not being out there. They're probably mad that we're back out there now. And then with artists really some decided to rebrand. Some decided to change their genre. Some decided they wanted to be more effective players. Yes, we want to make money, but sometimes the songs that we write can make a difference in people's lives. So during this time, did you think about how you want to be perceived as an artist, or did you already have that set in your mind? What did you think about?
Yeah, so I actually started songwriting pretty much right when COVID started, which is a really experience from many other artists. I've really done almost everything online besides physically going to the studio and recording. So I'm definitely having an extremely different experience from really any artist before because nobody's really gone through this.
Right.
But I just definitely have gotten a lot of downtime, and that is really why I decided to start music because my junior year of high school, I actually tore my ACL and meniscus, which really started to give me a lot of downtime originally. And then I met my producer, Mark Vogel, my senior year, and that's really when I decided, okay, now I can focus on my music full time, and I just really decided to sit down, focus on developing myself as an artist, and just kind of going forward with that.
And what was it about the music industry that made you say, okay, Anika and music have to come together. This is what I want to do with my life?
Yeah, I mean, I had always really, really taken such pleasure in music growing up. I did voice lessons, recitals. So music had always really been a big part of my life. But once I really had all of that time to myself and I began to think a little bit more about life, as you mentioned earlier,
Right.
I just really realized that's what I wanted to do, and I really wanted to share my passions with the world.
Well, you got to reflect and decide at a young age, which is great, because the world is your oyster, basically. And there's a lot to learn about this music. Well, that's awesome. Now, how important is it for you to be authentic with your music and your songwriting?
I mean, for me, that's the most important thing, I think, is being authentic. I mean, when I'm songwriting, I never want to take from anything that hasn't actually happened to me. So I always try to draw from my real life experiences, because it wouldn't be real, obviously, if I was trying to write about something that didn't actually happen to me. So that's always like something that's very prevalent. Whenever I decide to sit down and write, I'm always drawing from that.
That's awesome. Which artists inspire you?
I would say definitely Queen, ABBA, and Bruno Mars are some of my biggest influences, but honestly, it's so changing all the time because kind of whatever I'm artist at the moment, they're always just kind of influencing my next song that I'm creating.
That's interesting. I love Queen, definitely. I don't know where I was going. I was on my way to Mexico when I read his biography. I read the biography. I don't know if I saw the movie first or read the biography. But anyway, I love Queen. I mean, the whole story behind the fact that, it's interesting how the lead singer didn't really have a lot of positive body images about himself, but he was a great singer. And I love the fact that he liked to do his own thing with his music. Like some people are like, a song can't be 6 to 7 minutes. So he's like, screw that. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to present it to the world. Now, you imagine if he had said, or if he had listened to all those people, a lot of his great songs wouldn't be out there. So he listened to his inner intuition and decided to just give us great, awesome music. This is what I love about him.
Definitely. Freddie Mercury's such an inspiration. The way he took risks and the fact that he didn't let anyone else like compromise his work is just like truly so inspiring.
Yes, Freddie Mercury rocks. I wish he were still alive today. My God, I think he'd be impressed with the movie.
Definitely.
And his life was brought out on the stage and all that stuff. And it was really sad that he felt like he had to hide who he was. And now in our world, nobody's hiding anything at this point anymore in the world, and people are pretty much free to be who they are, and everything in their life. It's just really sad that he can't be here. I mean, when I read his book on the plane, I was in tears. I was like, oh my gosh, he's just fabulous, and I would have to say one artist that I emulate in the sense that I like to do what I want with my music. And, I like to just create just like he did. Now, what is your genre?
I am mostly pop, but with a little R&B sprinkled in there.
I like that. It's good to be versatile. One of the things, I'm a voting member in the Recording Academy, and one of the things they keep talking about is they have a hard time now trying to place the music in certain categories because a lot of people are meshing genres together. Which is great because we need something that's totally different out there. We need something that's more exciting. Like, if you listen to the radio, it's mostly the same stuff over and over again. And so when you do something, you mixing pop and R&B, it just gives a different flavor. It gives the audience out there something that they're probably craving. They didn't know that they were craving that music. Do you play any instruments?
I actually don't, which is really crazy. I did piano lessons and stuff when I was little, but I actually just got a guitar for Christmas, and we have a little piano at home, so I'm starting to do little lessons with that, which is really good.
That's good for you because I've been in this industry 10 years, 11 years. Listen, I tried to take guitar lessons and I felt like a contortionist. I was like, oh my gosh, my body was like, how does anybody play this? And then somebody recently was like, they make guitars for women. I was like, oh, I guess they should have explained that to me. And then 5 years ago, I bought a smart keyboard and it's been in the box for 5 years. And I said, last year I was going to open it. This year, definitely. Don't feel bad because my voice is my instrument, and I definitely believe that people should know how to play at least one instrument. So I'm going to follow your route and learn how to play that smart keyboard. I just need to do it. I definitely want to learn how to play an instrument. I think it gives more to our repertoire when you can actually play and sing at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm the same way with you. My voice has always just kind of been my main instrument, and I've always just kind of let that lead the way. But now I'm like, okay, I really need to step it up and learn how to do this.
Amen. Now, if you could perform with anybody in the world, well, dead and alive, who would you perform with?
Oh, my gosh. That is definitely a loaded question. I mean, obviously, we just talked about Freddie Mercury, who would be absolutely insane to perform with. But if we're kind of talking about more modern artists, I've seriously been so enjoying The Weeknd and also Silk Sonic. Their new album is really cool. But probably The Weeknd. He is just such a talented artist. He also likes to push the risks, which is really cool. Right. Like with his new album, Dawn FM, I've been really enjoying that. But he's really a big inspiration as well.
Now, you're dipping your toe in the music industry, which is great, or you're dipping your foot or your whole entire body in the music industry. What do you like so far about the idea of being an artist?
I personally really just like that I get to share my story. I mean, with each song that I write and that I get to listen back to, it's really like a part of my life story, which is super cool. And a lot of people can't really say that they have kept track of their life like that. And I think it's just something so super unique and super cool that I can share with the world, not only just for me to have myself, but to share my voice and what I can do as an artist with the world is seriously something that I'm just so honored to be able to do.
That's awesome. Yeah, I keep telling everybody that gets on my podcast that, a lot of artists don't understand that music is your superpower. It's our superpower because our music can make such a difference in somebody else's life. Somebody may say, oh, my God, I got to listen to Are You Down with Nielsen because I need that right now, and it could bring them joy. You know what I mean? And that's what that person needs at that moment. That is your superpower. That is the thing that you bring to the world, which is all following your passion. You know what you want to do in life, and I'm sure you're going to create even more awesome music. Now, tell us about Are You Down? Tell us what the song is about.
Yeah, so Are You Down was not the first song that I had written, but I knew it was the first song that I really wanted to put out there because I felt that it represented me not only vocally, but just kind of what I can do as an artist in general. Okay. But the song is really just kind of about that innocent kind of starting of a relationship, and it's kind of getting a little bit more exciting, and just it's really filled with the hopefulness and just kind of longing that goes along with a new budding relationship.
All right. Well, let's play it.
Oh, my gosh.
The time, yeah, till we're done.
I could hear the pop and R&B influences in there, especially the R&B. It reminds me of an artist.
Yeah.
It reminds me of an old
Thank
school.
you so much.
But I can't think of the name right now because my brain is brain fog.
I think someone said, Anita Baker on one of her names. I think
it has that flavor, but I'm also thinking like Tina Marie also, which is going way back. That's going way, way back. But yeah. I think it's I love it because it gives you, it's still giving you a new flavor. You know what I mean? For the 21st century. And I could definitely hear that song being played in a movie also. Have you ever thought about eventually getting into sync and licensing?
Yeah, I definitely have thought about it. With my other few songs that I've created that I haven't released yet, I've definitely been like pushing for stuff like that.
Yeah, you should definitely, once you get everything figured out, you should definitely start sending your music to sync and licensing different places, because a lot of places are looking for that. I'm part of the Guild of Music Supervisors. I take a lot of their webinars and seminars. And they give a bunch of great advice on how to get your music into sync and licensing. So yeah, definitely do that. What is your songwriting process like? And if you ever deal with writer's block, how do you deal with it?
Honestly, I feel like for every song I write, the process is different. Sometimes I really am feeling a vibe for the track, and then I kind of base my lyrics off of that once I kind of have that. But other times, I'm always just writing little notes down, and I just kind of pick up or something I really want to write about, and then from those lyrics, then I create a track. Or sometimes, I don't know, it's just kind of random, but every time I really just try to stem it from one area, which is really helpful, because once I have an idea of one thing, then I can really base the other part off of that. But with writer's block, I mean, I am always constantly just writing down little notes, even if it makes no sense. Right. I am just writing it down on my phone, in a notebook, whatever. And then once I decide to look back at everything, if I have writer's block, I really just try to look at all the different little lyrics I've written down and maybe try to pick out a different theme or kind of something that I want to write about, and then just kind of make sense of all the madness after that.
All righty. Now, what inspires you? What or who inspires you? And where is the craziest place you've been inspired to write a song?
I mean, honestly, just my everyday experiences. I mean, I'm a 20-year-old just kind of going through life, and I just really like documenting just real things that happen to me in real time. And whether that be with a friendship or a relationship, I think just really taking from my own life experiences has really helped me, not even just emotionally, just writing things down is super awesome. The craziest place that I've been inspired, I mean, gosh, that's kind of hard. But definitely just, I mean, out in nature is always just super inspiring, whether it be the beach or on a hike or anything like that. I feel like those are always great places to really just get your head super clear and kind of focus on just writing and in general my emotions.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people seem to be on the same page with me. I always get inspired in the shower. I mean,
That's also, yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's just, I write but can I remember the stuff once I get out? No. I'll try to repeat. And I've even brought my phone into the bathroom, while I'm taking a shower, but to reach out wet and try to grab it, it just doesn't work for me. And so I'm trying to create a gadget that's like waterproof that you can, and soundproof.
That would be great.
Yeah. That you can put in the shower, just press a button, you're just like, oh. But a friend of mine, or this lady that I interviewed on the podcast, told me there's actually a pad, a waterproof pad that you can put in the shower, and it comes with a pencil, and it won't get wet. And I'm just like, wow, I need to get that. I bought it. I don't know where I
need that.
I mean, don't you come up with like the best? I mean, I come up with the best stuff, and then when you walk out, you're just like, oh.
I know. I feel like I also get lots of good ideas when I'm in the car. And then obviously I can't write it down in the car either.
So what I do when I'm in the car, sometimes I've even pulled over, and I'll take my phone, and I have the voice recorder on there, and I'll sing something into it or speak something into it, like a line that I thought, oh my God, this line would be great in a song. I like to use words that you don't normally hear in a song. I definitely like to pair instruments that people don't think about pairing together, just to bring about a uniqueness in the song. What would you say are 3 resources that have helped you along the way with your music?
I mean, just kind of a personal resource, which is actually a person, is my producer. He's so important to me in my music writing process. He is always just there helping me, figuring out new ideas, just saying oh, this doesn't sound right, this sounds great. He's just like a great personal resource that I can really call, text anytime, that I just am super grateful to have him. But honestly, other resources, I mean, Rhyme Zone, seriously.
Yeah.
Resource.
That's huge.
Yeah. But that's always really helpful too. I mean, I have seriously gotten so stuck sometimes, and Rhyme Zone, I just put the word in and then the most random things will come up. I'm like, okay, this is not helpful. But then other times it's really helpful. But yeah, I think honestly just reaching out to friends and family as well is super nice. If I ever just need a break or need to clear my head, there are always just amazing resources and people that I know that will be there for me whenever I'm just kind of in a writer's block or just kind of need to relax, de-stress. I know that they will always be there for me, which is awesome.
That's cool. Now, in regards to the whole song process, the recording process, what do you prefer? Do you like getting into the process where you start recording, or do you like the end result?
I mean, that's really hard. I definitely feel like in every single song, there is that point where everything just clicks together. And I literally just scream and run around the room because everything is just coming together exactly how you envisioned it. And I think that point is probably my favorite. Like, sometimes it can be straight up at the beginning of the song if you find a track that you really like or a sound that you really like. And sometimes, I mean, it's all the way after it. I feel like it can happen at many different times, but I think that's probably my favorite part.
Now, have you performed live yet?
I actually have not performed live yet because of COVID, unfortunately.
Did you ever think about doing like the live streams?
Yeah, I've definitely thought about that. I mean, my first song was just released, so I would definitely probably combine that with some covers as well, but that would be something I'm definitely looking forward to do.
Awesome. Now, you know, the music business is a lot of hard work, So, you know, we have to promo ourselves on every darn social media app that's out there. So how do you market and promo yourself on these social media apps?
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously I'm part of the Gen Z, so I'm a little bit, like, tuned with social media sometimes, but other times I'm like, what is happening? But trends and stuff like that, I mean, I always do, like, little makeup videos and promo videos, but I've also gone on a few magazines, which is really cool, and then I promo those on my Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. And I've gotten some really, really positive feedback, so that's also awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, TikTok is an interesting thing. It's funny because I know a lot of people that, I'm never going to do TikTok, but I explain to people, TikTok, you can do silly stuff, you can do serious stuff, you can promote your music, food, whatever you're doing out there. It just depends on how you want to promote that. Now, I'm still trying to understand this. My sister was telling me the whole hashtagging. I mean, I've been hashtagging, but she's like, you need to look at the trending hashtags of the day and just doesn't matter if it goes with your thing. You just need to hashtag to death and, you know, and oh my God, I still have to understand the algorithms. But I did a webinar and they were telling us how TikTok, the most viewed TikToks are where people are being authentic. You know, obviously people like ones and people laugh, but people are more gravitating towards the ones where they think that they can do the same things that those people are doing. You know, people want to be able to say, "Oh my God, I can do this too," and then those become the most popular. It's crazy. You know, during the pandemic, my God, TikTok was like, everybody was home. They're like, "Okay, I'm bored. What can I do?" That let me get on TikTok to do my thing, and let me show people what I can do. I post about my music, and I also post about my cats and my workout journey and stuff like that. And I have to say, those are the ones that are viewed the most. It's crazy.
I mean, it just takes one video for you to go viral on TikTok. It's so crazy. As long as it's in with that algorithm, like you were saying, one thing can just take off, and it can be so random as well.
It's so random. Like, I look at some of the stuff on there. There's this guy, obviously he's a good-looking guy, and all he does is moves his hips left to right, and he's got like 30,000 views. What?
No. Oh my gosh. Yeah, when the people are just like standing there, and then they're attractive, like that can literally get like 1 million likes. It's so crazy.
And I think that's so sad. So you got to be hot. And just move your hips a little bit, and then I mean, I feel like taking one of the, like, you can do duets and say, why is this getting so many damn views? Okay, he's hot. Yeah, he can shake his hips, but it's just.
I know. I get so confused.
It boggles the mind. Anyway. Good for that guy. I mean, I have a friend that's on TikTok. He does very well. He does a lot of funny things, and some of his videos have had over 5 million views on it. And I'm just thinking, yeah. And then I have another friend. He's an artist. What he does is he spends, I think, 3 hours a day doing TikTok videos. That's
my God.
Yeah. Because when I took the webinar, the other thing that they said was, you should be doing 5 videos a day. One, who has that time Two,
Yeah, what?
I'm like, you expect me to sit down and come up with 5 ideas at that moment? No, for me, it'll just hit me at a moment, and I'm just like, okay, gotta do this. Like I watched The Matrix, the new one that came out, and I thought it was like the worst thing. So I made fun of it on TikTok, and but that came to me while I was on my Peloton. So it's not like I'm just sitting down. And it's like, yeah, I could do this. I could do that. I mean, how do the ideas come to you?
I mean, I'm kind of the same way. I'm just spur of the moment. Okay, I found a sound I like. Okay, I have an idea I like, and then kind of go for it then. But I'm not like pre-planning everything out, like making 5 videos a day or anything crazy like that.
There's the stuff that we have to do. So what are 3 things that you're learning about the music business that you really didn't understand before?
I mean, one of the biggest and craziest things was the recording process is just nothing like I thought it would be. I mean, I thought that people just go into the studio, you record it, the whole thing like once or however many times you do it, and then it's done. But no, you sing the same line 5 times, pick the best parts, which is, I had no idea that it was like that at all, which was so crazy to me, the first song that I recorded. But probably another thing is just really how much work that you have to put into this. It's a full-time job just with the publicity, like the social media, everything, along with writing, recording, photos, videos, everything. But yeah, I was ready for a lot of work, and I was ready to take that on my plate. So I'm definitely proud of myself for what I've done so far. But the last thing is just really how much I've enjoyed it since I've started. As I said earlier, music has always been such a big passion of mine, and now that I really get to pursue it full time, it really brings me so much joy, more than probably any other job could, which is so rewarding in itself.
It is crazy how much work goes into this. It's a full-time job. Hell, it's 2 full-time jobs, especially if you're the publicist, you're the manager, you're the writer, you're the promoter, you're the marketer, you're the website designer. People just they don't really understand. I don't think they get what it's like to be an independent artist, because this thing takes a lot of money. And if you don't have the budget, you're definitely doing everything that yourself. And then you have to come up with ideas like we talked about for TikTok or Instagram, and post and say something that people are just going to gravitate to and say, oh, I want to listen to Anika. I want to see what she says on Reels or Snapchat or Clubhouse or whatever that's out there at this moment. It does take a lot of work to be seen and heard. Now, what's next for you after Are You Down?
Yeah, so Are You Down obviously is my first song that I've put out, but I want to release probably 1 or 2 more singles and then hopefully an EP by this summer.
Oh, great. Great. Now, are you going to do any music videos?
Yeah, I mean, I just released the Are You Down music video a little bit ago, which was super fun. It was my first music video that I've ever done, and it is up on YouTube. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to shooting more music videos in the future for my new releases as well.
Awesome stuff. Now, where do you think you see yourself in 10 years?
Whew, that is also a loaded question. Ideally, I would still be pursuing music. Even though I've just started, I have seriously had so much fun. Like I said, better than any other job I could imagine myself doing, just because I'm so passionate about it, and it just really brings me joy to write, record, listen back, make mistakes, fix them, everything, you know? So that is really, really what I would want to see myself doing. Hopefully, once COVID ends, I'll be doing live performances and everything as well. So that is definitely ideally what I would want to be doing in 10 years.
Now, do you think that artists should be seen as role models or not?
I mean, it's definitely hard, but these days with such large platforms, I feel like even if people aren't asking to be role models, I feel like it's just kind of put on their shoulders anyway. and they have to be smart about what they're posting, what they're supporting, what they're even saying. Everything is so PC now. But I think, like I said, even if you weren't initially asking to be a role model, you kind of have to take that on and realize who your audience is and who you're speaking to.
Now, but do you think that's fair in the sense that we're always telling people to be themselves, right? And here, it's a double-edged sword for me. Because I think that people need to be who they are. Now, hopefully these people are loving, compassionate, understanding beings. Because for me, I think that parents should be role models. I think teachers should be. When it comes to artists, it's kind of hard. Because it's like, okay, I can't be myself because, some of these kids may want to be like me. There's nothing wrong with me, but their parents may think there's something wrong with me. So I find that kind of hard. It's a hard question, to be honest with you, because I think people should be able to be who they want in any case. Now, I do agree. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was saying I totally agree. It's a double-edged sword. And just nowadays, what is really almost saddening is that it's not even about if you have good music. It's almost probably 60 or 70% your presence in media, online, just like you're following people who are. And it's really not nowadays. You're not just relying on your music anymore, which is really sad. And you want people to be able to be themselves. And I don't know. It's a tough question.
Exactly, but you nailed it. Because of the fact that you're right. A lot of the stuff that's out there, people are more interested in the people's personal lives than the music. And that's why I think that independent artists have the greater superpower out of anybody, because our music is really coming from our soul. We don't have 12 writers to a song. It's just us writing a song. And I think that a lot of people, especially during the pandemic, started to gravitate towards indie artists because they had to go and search new people, new music to get to know. And that for us is truly about the music. It's not about, obviously people want to get to know who these artists are, but it's more about the music. I mean, mainstream artists, people know who they are, blah, blah, blah. But they're more trying to find out, who are they dating? Who are they sleeping with? Did they drug use? Oh my God, is this another scandal? That is what is exciting people more on on the mainstream side. So I agree with you 100% in that arena. And so as independent artists, we have the power to, overcome those things. And we can be great role models, even if, people that watch this tend to disagree with some of our thought processes. One of the things I say to people, this is what my belief system is. You don't have to believe in it, but I stand firm in who I am. You see what I'm saying?
People don't get that nowadays.
Right.
Like, just because someone believes one way doesn't mean they're forcing it on everyone else.
Exactly. Now there's this whole thing about Spotify, where a lot of the big artists are removing their music because this one person that has a podcast is giving misinformation about the vaccines and stuff like that. And Spotify is a double-edged sword. They don't pay artists enough money, but at the same time, it is a platform where other people can get to know your music. That's where it's a double-edged sword. It's like, they don't pay us enough, but I get more fans on here and they can stream my music, because streaming, unfortunately, is where things are. But I do applaud the musicians that stand up and say, look, you can't have this on your platform where somebody's giving misinformation. Now, if he changes his story to the right information about vaccines and all that stuff, then fine. Now Spotify has come back to say, well, we're going to make sure we put some type of notation or whatever to say, well, this platform this podcast may contain information that may be false, but then why have it on your platform?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
definitely.
But I definitely applaud like musicians that stand up for their own beliefs and say, "Look, I can't be a part of this because you're misrepresenting information, and then people are going to think I support this."
Yeah, I mean, whatever your beliefs may be, it's definitely important, regardless of what anyone else says, to stand up for what you believe in general.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So, what is something that you like to use, whether it's a message, a quote, an inspirational quote, that you use to push yourself throughout the day if you're feeling down or discouraged, or is just something that you wake up with to help you go about your day?
Definitely one thing that I always have kept in mind. Growing up, my dad was my soccer coach pretty much my entire life. But he would apply this quote just kind of in every aspect of my life. He would always say, give 110% effort into everything that you do, no matter what it is. If it's something you're passionate about, give 110%. If it's that you don't necessarily like, put 110% effort in, because at the end of the day, you know that you worked hard and it will pay off, and that will make you happy in the end.
Amen. I absolutely love that. Love that. Now, in the beginning of this year, I decided, every year I decide on a phrase that I'm going to use, that I'm going to follow. It's something I'm going to work on every year. And this year I decided to say, I write my own narrative. Because sometimes when you're in the music industry and they write something about you in the press or anywhere, they may get the wrong information. And I'd rather them either change the information to make it correct, or if they take it down altogether. I'm not a person that's all into this fame thing. So, I write my own narrative. Do you have something this year you're truly going to work on that you want to project out as an artist?
I mean, that is definitely something that I agree with. I write my own narrative. I mean, just starting out as a small artist who's really done everything through COVID, I mean, that is something that I really hold true as well. I don't really have that many outside influences just trying to bring me down or anything like that. But I know as time progresses, things will get harder. The music industry is definitely not always a healthy place. Sometimes it can be toxic, and just with the industry in general. So I know to keep true to myself and just always write about things that I feel are authentically me, and just portray myself in a way that I want to be portrayed, and have people listen to my music and make them feel something. I always want my music to have an impact on people. I know music is just so powerful, and even a small lyric or a line or even a beautiful note that someone holds out can really touch on our emotions. So I think that's really what I want to play into with my music this year.
Love it. Love it. I wrote a song called Authentically Me. So
That's
I love,
great.
I love the whole authenticity angle. Well, thank you so much for being on Chatting with Nat. It was truly an honor for me to have you on here. I got to learn a lot from you, and I love your song. Keep doing what you're doing. I think you're going to go really far.
Thank you so much. I had such an amazing time talking with you, and your stories are truly inspirational, and I will definitely keep being authentically me. And yeah, I just really appreciate you having me on today.
All right. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. And that was Singer-Songwriter. Thank you so much. That was singer-songwriter Anika Nielsen on Chatting with Nat. You can find her on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. Go listen to her music. She's awesome. Until next time on Chatting with Nat.
Hey, y'all. I'm Natasha James.
Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard. Love your